Boys, it's not looking good. No, my Sonny man is not looking good at all. She's gone. She's gone. The bottom's right out of her. She's gone. Well, I suppose, we've seen worse. Yes. You knows we've seen worse. Sure, I'd almost say it's pretty good. Pretty good. No, my Sonny man, it's perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. And if you have any clue about what I'm doing, then you know about Buddy What's His Name and the other fellas and my terrible rendition of them. I decided that, so if you don't know of them, please go check them out. I have no affiliation with them, but in this time when there's so much heaviness on us, they are a comedy group that will make you laugh even if you don't understand everything that they're saying. So I decided that I needed to do a tarot reading on Justin Trudeau, and I decided to do a reading on the provinces. But I can't do all of them with the territories and stuff, so I decided to do Newfoundland, East, West, and the territories. So I did Justin Trudeau's numerology, in which it was, I was expecting it. It was like he's energetic and he's enthusiastic and very sensitive and he's very truthful. I think he kind of came into this thinking, having this really naive feeling that he could just make these huge changes, and he did. He legalized weed. So he has a one life path, so he was destined to have success. He's a hard worker. He also has a birth number of 7, so he has a lot of intelligence. And he has a life path of 5, which is change and challenges and coming from a place of having a very unique life and being the 23rd current Prime Minister of Canada, having a father that was, even huger than him. He actually dated one of my favorite people of all times. His father, Trudeau Sr., he dated Barbara Streisand. Like, oh my God, I love her. And he has a 6 in his reading. So he for sure has a love for family, a real compassion for his wife. They're all good things to see. He is, however, missing the 8, and he has which is success and prosperity towards money. He is currently in a personal month of 8 in a personal year of 5. So he has to be really careful with money. It's going to affect the future. I know this is kind of like, duh, this is what is happening. But this is his personal month of 8. And it is in his year of 5. So it is just change and challenges. And he has to be really careful about bankruptcy. So let's have a look at Trudeau. I don't want to put the timeline too long because things are just changing so quickly. So I think we'll do like a 2-month look. We'll do a 5-card spread and see what comes up. So I hope everybody is healthy and doing their utmost to do as the Canadian health organizations have said, to stay healthy. This is going to affect us for a long time, guys. The numbers that we're seeing, they're not reflective of what's happening in the real world because, we got to get enforcing the testing and get as much testing as we can and being proactive. I know it's hard. It's hard to have the kids home. It's hard financially. It's just, but we're dealing with a pandemic, and this is not a time to worry about the money factor right now. We have to worry about human lives and doing what's best. And we live in Canada, one of the best countries in the whole entire world, I think it's, in my personal opinion, and I may be biased, it is the best country in the whole entire world. I love what we represent. I love that we're apologetic, we're kind, and everywhere in Canada, from Newfoundland and Labrador to Vancouver, BC, and everything in between, the human kindness that is shown from person to person is overwhelming, and it just makes you so proud to be Canadian. So with that, let's have a look at Justin. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wow, guys. Not surprising, he has the Wheel of Fortune. He's in a personal year of 5, so this is going to be a year of challenges. A huge year of challenges. We have the 8 of Wands, so there's going to be a lot of quick movement, quick proactive choices for Canada. I mean, we could pull the threads and pick out a lot of things that could have been done, closing down borders quicker and all that. But there's also the other side of it, that we need to have movement of materials, especially between Canada and the US. We need to ensure that we're having, product coming in, food coming in. He is the Empress. He is doing this with heart. He is concerned about the people, and they're going to do what needs to be done to save as many lives as they can. We have the 5 of Wands. It is going to be issues with the provinces. They're going to want to say, hello, what about us? There's going to be infighting. There's always going to be something that could have been done or should have been done. And it's going to cause some upset, because during these type of times, when the world is just, sending us something that we've never, ever had to deal with before, it makes us unsettled, and we can't help but have some unsettling feelings and some passions that erupt. But we do have the Knight of Wands. There's going to be help. They are going to be very active. Their fire has been lit, and they're moving into this with action. So they're trying to be as proactive rather than reactive. And I mean, you kind of got to go by what we have now. Like, you can't go back and change anything. You can only go forward from here. So that was Trudeau for the next few months. So let's look at the provinces. I hope you don't mind the way I broke it up. It's just timing and everything else. And I don't want to get into too much individual items, because this is not a province to province thing. This is all of us together experiencing this, almost like the record skipped and somehow we landed in Trump land. And it's almost like I just want somebody to say, let's go to sleep, let's backtrack, and let's get on the other path that we're supposed to be in. I know, Star Trek. So let's look at Newfoundland first. Okay. So Newfoundland has the 9 of Pentacles and Strength. So guys, it's going to be an uphill battle, but there's so much heart. There's so much goodwill in Newfoundland that you will meet the challenges. This is a time for everybody to kind of look after each other, take stock of what you have, and be in a place of preparedness. So for the East, we have the Hangman and the 4 of Pentacles. I think for Ottawa, Toronto, East, I'm including Halifax, PEI, New Brunswick, all that. there's some hardened thought processes that are going to need to be changed because they're hanging on to the old ways, they're hanging on to the way things used to be. There has to be an understanding and certainly a learning from this lesson that we have to go back to some of the basics, making sure that we don't want, there's always going to be something coming down the pike, God willing, not another pandemic, but there's always going to be something. So we have to be prepared to change our ways. The old ways don't work anymore, so start changing your minds and get around trying to get back to local sources, local sourcing, and ensuring that in the future that we're not so dependent on everybody else. We partner up with the U.S., good trade, and keep ourselves, the North free. So for the West is going to be very authoritative. It's going to push hard on what Trudeau and the Liberal government is doing. And there's certainly a fire underneath the locals trying to get ahead of it, almost trying to get ahead of even what the government's proposing. I mean, I'm here in Alberta. They closed down all of our schools. Everybody who can work from home is working from home. They've got a setup in Edmonton for a drive-through testing, and there's a lot of proactiveness happening, and you can see it. And for the territories, okay, guys, justice and judgment. So you're going to have to make sure that your voice is heard and that you ensure that you get a seat at the table, that you get your fair shake and get the government behind you. Ensure that you're included. Make sure you are at the table and asking for what you need, because we're all going through judgment. We're all going through a time that, I've never seen anything like it. So I think we all have to be cautious, be prepared, but don't panic. Our forefathers have gone through so much, through wars. I mean, can you imagine what the Jewish people felt? I mean, they were prosecuted, they were tortured, they were killed. And we are being blocked off and told to try to social isolate ourselves to keep everybody in our community healthy. So I think if we look at the past and what some of our ancestors have gone through, we can get through this. It's a hardship, yes, but each generation has their experience, their story to be told, and this is going to be part of ours. So let's make sure it's a positive one, that we help each other, and moving forward, we learn the lessons from this. So that's my reading, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, wishing you light for your darkness. And all I can say is, oh, Canada, bless us, each and every one of us.